Going? Okay. My name is Aaron Ginoza, and this is my semester 1 POL. So, for one of the books that I read this semester, it's called The Closer by Mariano Rivera with Wayne Coffey. This book is about one of the greatest pitchers in all of baseball, Mariano Rivera, and his journey from his small beginnings in a town in Panama called Puerto Comito all the way up to his journey through the major leagues. So, as a young boy, Mariano attended school just like any other kid, and probably took notes at one time during his young career. And he probably uses notes to take note of important topics and concepts, similar to the way that I did this semester using my STEM journal. So in Mr. Hines' class, he would use this notebook to take any notes on key concepts or ideas. And one thing that was really important for me was that I was able to look back at these notes in case I was confused or I needed help on anything. And it was also there for future reference.
Who's there?
Right after his childhood, Mariano slowly began playing baseball, and he started off playing as an outfielder. But eventually, he transitioned to becoming a pitcher, and from there to a closer. So during one of his games, Mariano was playing in the outfield, and his team had run out of pitchers. So they called him in to pitch, and he pitched exceptionally well. From that moment on, he was a pitcher, and that's where he started his major league career. So using feedback and revision, similar to the way Mariano Rivera did to change from an outfielder to a pitcher, I had to revise and change my American Revolution play script. So this script took a lot of time, and we also got a chance to switch it with each other and give feedback that had to meet the requirements of being kind, helpful, and specific. And another example of feedback and revision was rehearsing for the American Revolution plays in the green room. This was really meaningful for me because before this I had almost zero experience with acting, let alone co-writing a script for our play. And when we were in the green room, we got feedback from the advanced acting class, and that was really helpful because they gave us tips about where to stand on stage, blocking, and how to fill up the whole stage so it doesn't seem empty when we're doing the actual play. And that was something that I never thought I could do before, and that's one of the reasons why I'm grateful for being in MPX. During Mariano's transition from life in Panama to the life of the United States, he had to learn to speak English. In Panama, he only knew Spanish, but luckily one of his teammates in the minor leagues taught him how to speak English and how to become accustomed to life in general in the U.S. So, before this, I talked about just the writing the script and the rehearsal, but over here I'm referring to the actual performance in Bakken of the plays. So over here, I was able to overcome maybe my sort of fear of speaking in front of large groups of people, because that was one of the things that I had to work on last year, and I'm still working on throughout this year of talking loud and clear and making my voice so everyone else can hear me. Another example of improving my speaking skill this semester was when we whiteboarded ideas and concepts in Mr. Hines' class. So whenever we did group projects, we would use the whiteboard to share our ideas with each other, to keep everyone on the same page, and to clarify anything. So this helped me also with presenting because I had to present my information in a way that everyone was able to understand and that we would all be on the same page. Okay, so this, I believe, is probably one of the most important skills that we can learn, which is collaboration. So throughout Mariano's career, from playing baseball in Panama to the minor leagues in single A, double A, triple A, etc., he had to learn to work with teammates. Baseball is a team sport, and a team is only as strong as its weakest link. And Mariano knew that and was very aware of being a team player, and he was always ready to pick up his teammates, whether they were doing bad or whether they were doing exceptionally well. I did something similar to that at our KVI field trips. And over there, I got to work with my new group members this year because I had new group members this year compared to last year. Over at K-Vibe, I got to learn my group members' strengths and weaknesses so that whenever we would work on our final bike, and we're still working on that, we would be able to eliminate weaknesses so we'd be able to work more efficiently, effectively, and just so we can get work done. And it also allowed us to gel together and sort of find a way that we can complement each other. And the final skill that I want to discuss about today is attention to detail. So Mariano Rivera, being a closer, he had many outings on the mound. He would always come in towards the end of the game. Even though he was a professional, he made many mistakes just like any of us would do. So after almost every outing, he would go look back at film, revise, look at small details like where he would release the ball and how he was gripping the ball, and he would always work to improve. And he was never satisfied with staying at one place or being stagnant. He would want to get better and better and better, and that's what helped him to become one of the best closers that we know today. And my example of using attention to detail this semester was our most recent project, which was the Civil War stencils project. During this project, my partner and I, the other Aaron, we had to be very attentive to detail because when making our draft, we didn't realize that we would be tracing exactly from there onto the final sheet of paper. We had to make our first tracing very exact and making exact cuts so that we go from all the way from this draft and over here. And the better we made it, the more real life and larger they would seem when we completed our final exhibition. So, in conclusion, I feel that I've learned a lot this semester through these 5 skills of feedback and revision, speaking skills, collaboration, and etc. And I feel that I've grown in a way similar to the way Mariano Rivera grew throughout his career, starting in from Panama and all the way up to his journey through the major leagues and eventually to his retirement. I hope that I can be as successful as him this year and hope to continue learning and growing and improving throughout my entire life. Thank you.
Well, that's cool.
Any questions?
Yeah, sure.
Cameron.
What do you want to tell us about how your mountain represents your drawing path throughout the semester, which I'm guessing is?
Okay, so at the bottom, it's like representing sort of where I started, and as you slowly move up through the top of the mountain, I gain more skills, go have some troubles and mistakes, but then eventually I reach the top, but hopefully it doesn't end there and just keeps on going.
What's a closer in baseball?
A closer is just usually the pitcher comes in during the last inning to sort of shut down the other team and to seal the game up for the rest of the team. Kendall.
What skill do you think that you like the value most or that you've improved on?
I think that the skill that I improved on the most this semester was probably speaking skills. I feel that I've come a long way, especially through like our plays and rehearsing that. That was like really like the biggest part that I thought that helped me. Leo?
But that's still like a conscious effort, right? Because I noticed that when you were talking about speaking louder and more clearly, all of a sudden you started speaking more loudly. So it's not quite at the point where it just happens automatically.
Yeah, it's still like a work in progress. I still need to work. Miss
Can you
Davis?
explain again your first skill? You said you related it to note taking, and what was the part in Rivera's life that
It was there wasn't that much where they talked about when he was in school, but they talked about briefly about where he was and like his hard working habits and about keeping note of everything.
So it was just a life habit that he had.
Just improving and looking back on stuff.
Any more questions?
Oh, no, I was wondering if
Okay.
you're able to